In 2020, I bought Netflix stocks at $500 per share. I bought 2 shares for $1,000. Today, Netflix is trading at $1,200 per share. That $1,000 has turned into $2,400. And this is the power of investing. Now I have $1,400 more than I did. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to be teaching you on how you can consistently multiply your money using stocks, ETFs, and index funds. Let your money work for you. Welcome to Rich in Progress, where we take the fear out of finance and make wealth building fun, simple, and smart. If you've ever thought, where do I even start with investing? You know, this question is always something that people ask me all the time. Should I pick stocks, or should I just do what Warren Buffett said, or should I join the crypto guys or someone that has sold one investment to me? What the heck is an ETF? This video is for you. Now, first I will try and talk about stock picking. When people want to use the strategy of picking stocks. Stock picking is like dating. You meet someone, you like check them out, and you do your research and then think, this might be the one for me. And sometimes you commit to the relationship. Sometimes it becomes amazing, and most times it's a total disaster. That's exactly what stock picking is like. You choose individual companies. For example, you choose Apple, you choose Amazon, Netflix, or even Coca-Cola, and you buy their shares. When you buy their shares, you are hoping that their value will rise over time. But this is something that people do not really know about investments. When you invest, you are actually buying a part of a business. You are not just betting that some numbers will randomly go up. You are literally buying a piece of the business. Now, if the company grows, launches a new product, or if the company earns money, the value of the business goes up. And since you own a part of the share, a part of the business, your money grows also. You become a partial business owner. Even if it's just one share, you are now in the same group as the shareholders of the company, including the CEOs and the big investors. Now, there are some advantages of picking individual stocks. Now, the advantage is that you might actually pick a very good company and you have high potential returns. If the company performs well, your gains will be very, very huge. Another thing is emotional connection. Like, for example, I am emotionally connected with Tesla. I love Tesla. So you are not just investing in a number, you are backing a brand you believe in. You understand? You believe in it. You say, yes, I really love Tesla. That's why I'm putting my money there. Also, there's some excitement with picking individual stocks, like saying, oh, I own a part of Apple. But there are a lot of downsides to investing by stock picking, and that's what this video is about. It's high risk to just pick a particular company, because you do not know how they might perform. Sometimes they underperform. Sometimes some companies even just go bust and your money is gone. You need to do your homework very well before you pick a stock. It's not just because Apple produces iPhones and then that's why I'm going to. Sometimes you need to read the Financial Times. You need to be updated with the financial sector and what is going on, including the tariffs that the American president is putting in place. You are not always as smart as you think. One good win can give you a false confidence, and that may not hold up next time. But you start to think, yes, I'm a very, very good investor. I can pick the right stock. Let me give you some real life examples that happened to me. So I said at the beginning that in 2021, I bought Netflix stocks at $500 per share. I bought 2 shares for about $1,000. I bought more than that, but for this example, $1,000. My reasoning was simple. It was COVID lockdown. It means that people were stuck at home and streaming was booming. It felt logical and it paid off. Today, each share is worth around $1,200. that $1,000 is now worth $2,400. A solid win. But not all my picks went that way. In November 2020, I also bought shares in Air Canada at $23 each. I assumed that once lockdown were lifted, air travel will rebound and airlines would surge in value. Unfortunately, 5 years later, the stock is hovering around $16, meaning that my $1,000 investment is now worth around $695. That is a $300 loss. Both decisions were smart at the time. One made money, one lost money. That's the reality of stock picking. Sometimes you are the hero, while some other times you are the cautionary tale. Now, stock picking can work, but it requires skill, it requires research and a bit of luck. It's not for the faint of heart, and certainly not for those who want guaranteed growth, and not for those who are not working on the Wall Street like you and I. And that's why I want to talk about something else that is very, very powerful. Now, this brings me to a very, very important part of investing, which is called exchange traded funds, ETF. This is the way I would advise anybody who is just starting on their investing journey to go by, and I will explain the reason. If stock picking is like dating, which is risky, exciting, and sometimes very unpredictable, then ETFs and index funds are like a calm, committed relationship. They are steady, consistent, and with time they grow beautifully, although they might be boring. Let's put it in terms of food. Stock picking is like you go to a very fancy restaurant and they give you a menu, a la carte, and you have to choose a particular meal. Sometimes those meals are very, very fancy. You see chicken scalala with talabango sauce. You have no idea what it is, but you can choose one and you have to pay for it, hoping that the meal you picked turns out good. If the meal turns out not to your taste, well, you are stuck with it. That's exactly how stock picking works. You choose a single company like Apple, Netflix, and you hope that it performs well. If it does, well, great. If it doesn't, then it's on you. However, these ETFs, which I talk about, the exchange traded funds, you pay. It's like going to a buffet. You pay once and you can try many different dishes. If you don't like one, no worries, you move to the next. That's what ETFs and index funds offer. They are a basket of companies that have been bundled together into one investment. So even if one of those companies in the basket underperforms, other companies there could make up for it. Let me explain it with the example I gave earlier. In 2021, I said I made an investment of $1,000 into Netflix shares, and today is trading for $2,400. Let's bear that in mind. But I made another investment in the about few months later, which was Air Canada. I bought it at $23 per share. At $1,000 I invested. Unfortunately, the share price dropped, and as at last month, the price is about $16. It's worth about $695, my $1,000. So one investment was good, while the other one was a loss. Now, what if instead of buying individual stocks in 2021, I decided to buy into a ETF? For the purpose of this description, I will use a ETF called Canaflix, which means it is a combination of both Air Canada and Netflix. So Canaflix is an ETF which I've just made up that comprises 60% of Netflix stocks and 40% of Air Canada stocks. If I had invested $2,000 into this ETF that I've just made up, what will happen over the years from 2020 till now is that I would have been almost 400 pounds richer because I invested into a combination of two stocks at different percentage rather than doing individual stock, because the Air Canada that underperformed was supplemented by the Netflix that performed well. This is the power of diversification. You would have heard people say diversify your investments. This is what they mean when they say do not put your eggs into one basket. So do not just go and buy Netflix or Air Canada. Buy both, so that at the end of the day, depending on which one performs well or not, you will still be better off than if you had put all your eggs in one basket. So what exactly is an ETF? An ETF is an exchange traded fund. It's a group of different stocks packaged together. They can be thematic. For example, there is one called the Vanguard REIT ETF. That's Vanguard REIT ETF. It is different real estate companies that are bundled together. We have the FTSE Emerging Stocks ETF. We have this comprised of companies from China and Brazil and India. Several companies. We have tech ETFs. That is a combination of Apple, Microsoft, Meta, Nvidia, Tesla, everything together. Investing doesn't have to be dramatic. You don't need 10 monitors or a Wall Street Journal subscription. Sometimes boring is brilliant, and ETFs and index funds are the calm, intelligent way to build wealth steadily over time. Burton Malkiel, a Princeton economist in 1973, he wrote a groundbreaking book titled A Random Walk Down Wall Street. In it, he made a bold claim. He said a blindfolded monkey throwing darts at a newspaper's financial pages could select a portfolio that will do just as well as one carefully selected by experts. It sounds ridiculous until someone actually put it into test. The result was shocking. That is, the monkeys that randomly were picking stocks beat the experts by 40%. That's almost half the time of pure chance doing better than a trained professional. So if the top experts often struggle to outperform random picks, then why would you risk your hard-earned money trying to do the same? ETFs beat stock picking anytime. This is why I personally prefer ETFs and index funds over picking individual stocks or even paying someone else to do it. With ETFs, you don't have to chase hype. You don't try to time the market. You simply ride the consistent long-term growth of the overall market. Take example the S&P 500, which tracks the top 500 companies in the US. Historically, over the last 100 years, the S&P 500 has returned an average of 8 to 10% year in, year out, compounded. That means if you invested $1,000 and left it there, it will double roughly every 7 to 9 years without you doing anything. No gambling, no second guessing, just consistent long-term growth. So why take the risk? Why gamble by picking individual shining stocks like Tesla or Meta, or I want to go for Meta, or I want to go for Amazon? You can buy the entire market by using ETFs, S&P 500. This gives you a built-in diversification. It gives you lower fees on your investments and less stress. So welcome to the world of investing, and I would like you to take the journey by investing in ETFs. And in the next video, I will show you step by step how to do this. Thank you very much. This is Rich in Progress. Please like, share, and subscribe. It will help my channel, and I'll be here again next time to teach you how to invest. Thank you very much.